I'm gonna do a quick
Ah, yeah, my microphone's
ops
working.
test.
Yeah, yours is working too. All right, cool. We have microphones. Da 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 da
Oh,
da 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 da.
I made a light error. I have to reconfigure my OBS audio stuff because I unplugged the ASI thing. So settings, I just have to go audio, desktop audio, speakers, play, and then mic aux, properties device, line audio box USB, and then desktop audio, properties, speakers audio box USB.
We are live, by the way. Just putting that out there.
What did you do?
What do you mean, what did I do? I hit go live. Well, now, why did he leave the chat? Where did he go? I guess I do this. Yeah, I guess this is just the life I live now. Lonely in my stream. No one here but myself. Okay, we're gonna do this now. OBS just destroyed my eardrums. 1 sec. Yeah. This is where we're at.
Okay, ideal.
There he is. He's back.
Yeah.
Let me go to studio mode. That way I can see before I do things.
Yeah, I'm also going to. Can you just say a couple of things? I
I
just want to check our audio
yeah,
levels.
if you need me to.
Yeah.
No, I need to go to the chat and then go to streamer mode.
That could explain a few things. Yep.
No, it doesn't. No. Hold on. Don't say. Don't. No, I'm just talking about my scene in OBS. Don't blame anything you're doing on me.
I'm not blaming anything you're doing. I needed enough stuff.
I need you to fix your camera because your camera's not working at all.
What?
Yep, your camera's projecting somewhere else.
It's because it was open in OBS. Uno momento.
I don't know how you do a camera open in OBS and a camera open on what you call it. That's magic.
I have to unopen it in OBS. This one.
Oh, chat. There is no chat. I don't know who I'm talking to. But hey, anybody going back and rewatching this stream for later for future reference, this is normal. We are always dysfunctional here. We're never anything less than dysfunctional.
Correct. Okay, so we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. And magically, I have reappeared. OBS. All right, can you say a thing just so that I've got you?
Yeah, I can say a thing. I can say a thing all day.
Awesome. Now that you've said a thing all day, I've got audio going from my side, so we are gaming. What are you giving the?
This patron name is specifically done to
antagonize you.
No, it's specifically done to break my brain. I can't read it.
Okay, do I need to read the patron names today then?
No, you don't need to read the patron names. Just
you're just having trouble understanding. Okay,
well, I'm having trouble understanding how I'm supposed to read this.
Okay.
And there's one that I can't read.
Okay. I haven't checked since I uploaded the How to Beat on the Beat production video on Wednesday, which hopefully you patrons enjoyed. There were a couple of likes on that post, but I thought it was a good.
There's at least one of these that I'm not allowed to read.
Oh, is it the one that I'm thinking of? Is it the one about me?
No, it's about Trish specifically.
Okay.
I don't see any about you that I can't read. Was there
There
one
was one.
before?
There was one last week that you were like, if this wasn't the Patreon episode, we would not be reading this.
Yeah.
I don't
There's one
remember.
of these that I'm not reading. Luckily, it's
Okay,
just in the $1 tier, so I don't feel too bad about it. But
I'll check it later. We can always message them and be like, hey, this is a bit too much.
yeah. I need some. What do you think I can get away with as far as background music?
I mean, there's the Yu-Gi-Oh one.
Do you think I can get away with Kawaii EDM and Future Bass Mix 2022?
Sure. We're not monetized anyway. I don't think it matters.
Oh, I think they'll do it to anyone.
I mean, they'll claim it, but that doesn't mean that the video doesn't stay up.
Oh, is that what that? Okay.
It just means that they earn the ad revenue on it instead of you most of the time.
Oh, okay.
If it's like, especially if it's like background music, if it's like,
it'll also kill the analytics. It won't get promoted at all.
yeah, I mean, but trial run, no harm.
That is true.
I canceled it, but I could resubscribe to Monster Cat Gold and give you the login, and then you would just have like the
What is
entire
that?
Monster Cat. Monster Cat has a subscription service that has a little like creators thing where it lets you use. It basically gives you license, and they won't claim your videos if you use anything from their music library that's creator safe.
Oh, yeah, we literally just canceled that like very recently.
We didn't. I don't think we had a subscription.
No, it was a different service called Soundstripe. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, instead we went with Doom Radio Beats to Rip Tear 2.
Sounds good. Maybe keep the volume on the low side.
It's as low as it'll go. Maybe open stream if you can and tell me how it sounds, because there's nobody in chat to tell me.
I'll check it out. I should share the stream too, actually.
Actually, I should probably share the stream. I didn't think about doing that. Share.
No, yeah, it's good.
X.
My audio's a little cringe. I might mess with it.
Post.
But we're good. Okay, let me get the link. I will post and then we can get jamming. Top Cut Podcast is live. The holiday gift guide for TCG players.
Yeah. We're in our PJs. Let's go.
Unironically, I am in my PJs.
I am also unironically in my PJs.
One sec.
We got Scoregami today. I didn't even know.
Wait, we got what?
Scoregami.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Scoregami is? Oh, buddy, I'm about to educate you. Okay, so as you know, football is very unique in quite a number of ways.
If there's a Patreon episode if y'all are interested where Sonny gives me the breakdown on college football. Horrifying stuff you have down there.
Well, NFL football is even better. So,
oh, I bet.
Specifically, we're going to focus on the scoring system in football.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this will all be pre-podcast stuff, so we can come back to the podcast. I'll make it quick though.
I was going to say we can't take too much time on this, but I am interested.
Okay, so in football, let me start. Think about any sport you know, right? Hockey, you score only exclusively 1 point at a time. Same thing with something like, I don't know, baseball. Generally, you only score 1 point at a time. Technically, you can score 2 and 3 runs at a time, but it's always very linear. You can think of the same thing in basketball, where it's always either 1, 2, or 3 at a time. Maybe you'll get an and one or whatever, but it's generally only 1, 2, or 3. But because of that, it's always so very linear. You don't ever get weird scores. Whereas football, you do, because it's completely non-linear in the score.
Because you have it's like you could get 1, 2, 3, or 7, right?
You can't get 1.
You can't get 1. I think
that's what makes it so great.
In the CFL, I think you can get 1.
So the CFL has the Rouge, and if the Rouge happens in the NFL, it's a 1-point play. It's very weird, and it makes Scoregami basically not really much of a thing anymore. Not as much anyway. So. Scoregami, you know who John Boyce is?
Yes, yeah.
He invented it.
Of Secret Base.
Yes,
right?
He invented the term Scoregami. It has gotten so big that the NFL recognizes it and retweets when it happens. Okay.
Mm.
Like, he literally invented it for a YouTube video 6 years ago, and it's gotten huge. There's been over 1,000 acts of scoregami in the history of the NFL. What it is when a score happens in the NFL that has never happened before. So today, Miami beat Washington 45-15. The final score 45-15 has never happened before in the NFL. It only happens like 4 or 5 times a season, and it's really rare. But we had it. Now, so at the beginning, the scoregami mostly happened when the score was like 3-2, you know, like super stupid, weird scores that you don't see anymore because like 0-0 ties just don't happen in the NFL anymore. But nowadays, you see a lot of really high-end scoregamis. So you see like 45-15, you know, big blowout scores. Anytime where it's like a 15 or an 18, things like that, weird scores, always create scoregamis because scoring 2 points at a time can only be done through safety or a 2-point conversion. You can score 3 at a time through field goals. You can score 6 at a time through touchdowns. And then you can do the extra point after a touchdown is 1 point, but you can only get that after the touchdown. Technically, there is a way you can only score a 1 point scoregami, but it requires specifically the team on offense to be going for a 2-point conversion and get a safety on a 2-point conversion, which is a 1 point play, which has never happened in NFL history. So technically, there's a way to score 1 point, but it's never happened. So we'll see. But because scoregami is so funky and weird, my mic arm does not want me to talk about this anymore. My mic arm broke. Anyway, because scoregami is so funny and weird, and it's become such a phenomenon, it's a big deal whenever it happens. So it happened today, which is very cool. Okay, that's all you need. All right, are we ready to start the actual podcast now?
now that you've all learned about American football, we can finally start talking about the trading card game.
Yes.
But I am ready I'm ready to begin.
There was another one that was only 1 away. So there was a different one today. The final score is 36-19. It's not scoregami, but the score has only happened 1 time before, most recently in 1988. What? Big un for it. There's at NFL_scoregami. It's a Twitter page. It's a bot that checks every NFL score, every NFL game, period, as live. It's amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and get today's episode started. Ready? 3,
I am
2,
yeah, sure.
1. Oh, hold on. I accidentally just opened DaVinci. My frame rate might crash, guys. 1 sec.
I suppose you are not resolved.
Yeah.
Just for the episode. That's an editing joke.
Yeah.
Actually, while you're doing that, I'm gonna get something
I'm
else
ready.
to drink. Hold on. I'm gonna get something else liquid. You can also
Okay. Hello, viewers. Oh, how's everybody doing today? Oh. We're doing good? You're feeling good?
Oh, I'm gonna get the other coaster too.
You use coasters? What a refined gentleman. No! My mic arm broke again. Hold on.
Well, so normally coasters, maybe not necessarily, but I have the cool Master Duel ones that Konami sent me, so I have to use them.
Fair enough.
This is just what happens when Shiggy's goes 3-0 in an invitational. You win prizes. She took Dota Doya to school. I also have this very cool, the other cool Master Duel one.
My mic broke again. And if you have it, you may as well use it. Yes, yes, Johnny, you did make it to a podcast recording.
Absurd.
And welcome
this
to
never
you.
happened before.
Okay.
Welcome all.
Well. Ready?
Yes, I am ready. Yep.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny. I am here with my co-host, El Gigantos Quijako. How are you?
I am doing good, actually, and it's nice to be back after a week. I have good news for you all. Sunny's internet works. Probably.
So far.
But
I haven't actually tested streaming on the new internet yet, but, I also haven't checked my internet speeds. I don't even know if it's doing the...
While Sunny is habitually checking his internet speed, we are back. Should be back on the normal schedule, but holidays are around, so
it's less
who
than it
knows?
used to be, but it's still solid.
Speaking of holidays, we got a banger for y'all today. This is some prime holiday season podcast content.
I'm doing 37.2 or 372 megabits download and 37 megabits upload.
I have never sniffed at 372 down in my life.
Well, I'm paying a lot extra to have 372 down. So.
That's true. That's true. And on a good day out here, we get 150 if the stars align. But usually down here where I'm at, it's like 70.
If it makes you feel any better, when I was like growing up, I grew up in a very rural house, like kind of like you are. I was 30 minutes from the nearest stoplight. That's not a joke or an exaggeration. I was 30 minutes from the nearest traffic light.
I believe that.
It was satellite internet, and in our best moments, it was 10 download. And we thought we were in like the technological
You probably
age.
were. There were times probably through high school where we were averaging like 5.
Yeah.
But
So.
enough about internet speed. We have sponsors to thank.
Yep. So, of course, a huge thank you, of course, to Steelfox and ETB Games for their continued support of the podcast. Of course, we also want to thank all of our affiliate sponsors. So, a huge thank you to Grimoire Accessories. I recently did a review on their Apex Victory sleeves as well as their deck boxes. If you want to check that review out, you can find it over on the main podcast YouTube channel, which, we're live streaming from right now. If you aren't aware, we do live stream every episode on the YouTube channel now, a couple days in advance. Be sure, of course, as Skyhawk is so dutifully pointing out, be sure to check out Grimoire Accessories. Also, be sure to check out Tier 0 Games as well as TCG Player, Dragon Shield, and... I'm missing one. I know I am. There's 6. I did 5.
Gym Accessories, Tier 0, Dragon Shield, TCG Player,
Grimoire.
No, I think you got it.
Anyway, well, whether I got it or not, thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors. It's either code TOPCUT5 on all of them, or TCG Player is just the affiliate link, or Gem Accessories is TopCut Podcast 10 for 10% off. And we get 5% kickback on all of those as long as you click the link and use the code. And TCG Player, we get 3.5. So, anyway.
Also, thank you to our lovely patrons.
Yes. Well, yeah, that was the next one. So, of course, thank you to our wonderful patrons for their very direct support of the podcast. Just a reminder, it's $1 a month to get your name on the podcast, $5 a month for the extra episode every week. I will warn you, though, we're going to be cutting names. I know we have quite a few new viewers from Mike's chat, which Mike's not here today. He's still on his sabbatical. And so we have quite a few new listeners. I'll let you know we do cut names if we find them too inappropriate because we do try to keep the podcast generally PG. So
what I do actually have the explanation for what happened to Trishula. So if you are not aware, and this is actually probably a quick thing we could cover news-wise, Master Duel did something very weird. So they released a ban list like a week and a half ago. We reacted to it live on the Patreon episode, which made for an incredible Patreon episode title.
It was good.
So that list was set to go into effect on December 5th. So what Master Duel did is they made another list a few days ago that also goes into effect on December 5th.
They were like, you know what? We can do more.
So they did a ban list errata. So let me pull up the exact Master Duel ban list.
So what does this have to do with Mike? You said, I know what happened to Mike.
So he's actually, he fainted due to joy because in Master Duel, all of the dragon rulers are now legal.
No, that's not true.
It is. It is true.
No.
In fact, you can play up to 7 of them, I think.
No, Redox is still banned, right?
Nope. No.
What?
Nope. Nope.
But at least they banned like Rongo Miniad or like the
Rongo got banned.
Okay,
Rongo got
and
banned
because all the dragon rulers are level 7, they banned the tomahawk, right? Right? Surely, right?
No. And so actually, so notably, that's actually not like the most dangerous change on the list. Is the rulers? The rulers are probably fine.
I don't know, man. Seven's a lot.
Title is honestly the only one that I'm a little bit concerned about.
That's crazy. Redox is the one for me.
Now,
ironically, I'm more worried about Redox.
There was one other change. I don't remember what it was. It didn't matter. There are 2 other changes that are insane. Trident and Zodiac Barrage, both to 3.
To 3?
To 3.
Not 1? We're putting them at 3?
Oh, Rat Pier back to 1, I think, is also. So, yeah, 3 Barrage, 3 Trident in Master Duel.
Okay, Konami. Sure.
Broad Bull still banned.
This is going to go real well.
Notably,
I think Zeus is at 1.
Zeus is limited. So Zeus is limited. The Zodiac Tri Brigade is just about to go absolutely insane again. Like, 3 Trident is scary, but Trident was already at 1 in Master Duel and not really doing anything. 3 Barrage is bonkers. That card was at 1 in the TCG when the Zodiac deck was good.
Do you think there's anything to Zodiac Unchained with the new Unchained support? Pop Barrage?
I am not convinced of that. So Sharvara Pop Barrage doesn't work because when Sharvara's on the field, you're locked into Fiends.
But what about Trident Pop your spell traps?
I mean, that's like fine, but you can do that with like Tornado Dragon. I'm not convinced that that's real. I don't think so.
You know my
Barrage.
You know
Pop
my
the spell
favorite
traps might
Zodiac,
not be bad.
You want to know my favorite Zodiac play of all time is?
Okay, I'm listening.
So, in Tri-Zoo format, the Dogmatica Invoke Shadal Eldritch deck was very popular. And one of the funniest plays was sometimes you just bricked. And you just go Trident Pass. All you could do. And your opponent very frequently into your Trident Pass would just start their turn by activating Shadal Fusion. And what's the best thing you can do if you just have a Trident Pass on board, especially if you have a Trident with a couple of materials and your only other card was like a Revolt or something, and your opponent activates Shadal Fusion, the best thing you can do
is pop itself.
Trident pop Trident. And that's always been very funny to me.
Yeah, because Shadal Fusion doesn't check to see if your opponent controls an extra deck monster until it resolves.
Right.
Because that's how most fusion spells happen, generally speaking.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare that they have a cost associated like that, or that they would check before resolution.
Trying to figure out the best way to do chat.
Large brain as Zodiac plays. Funny enough, I remember I was talking to Ease about this. Fluffle was playable in Zoo format because Zoo did not have a reliable out to fight for sheep. So you would just keep bringing it back over and over. But
so I've never played an original Zoo format, just Tri-Brigade Zodiac, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really have too much of a problem with Trident to 1 or Barrage to 1, but Trident and Barrage to 3, I'm going to... I legitimately did not realize they did that.
It's crazy. Yep. It's bonkers.
And I didn't realize that they had that many Dragon Rulers. I thought they just like did an extra 1-to-1 and people were freaking out. I was like, this is nothing.
So I believe Blaster is at 3.
Right.
Tempest is at 2, and Redox and Tidal are now at 1. So
that's a lot.
We'll see.
It's a lot of rulers, man.
I am unconvinced. So I was initially scared of Redox, but Redox is just like a worse Vernisylph, if we're being real. I think like it has advantages over them because obviously you don't get locked into Earths, but you already have to be on some density of them to make good use of Redox, I think. Tidal I am worried about because I think the looming specter of the water hand loop deck is always kind of an issue. But
so I want to talk about what happened to me this week as well.
Okay, yeah.
So I realize I just cut you off, but
no, that was the end of what I had to say about the rulers.
okay. So
Oh yeah, Mike, Trish was gone because the rulers made him so happy that he fainted, and he'll be out for another day.
yeah, so Trish was gone doing family stuff. He had to attend to his family, who also passed out upon finding about the rulers. I was gone because of a lack of internet, and Skyhawk was gone because of a lack of us. So, but while I was gone, I got some cards in the mail, and I want to talk about this because this is a problem.
Oh, I see where this is going.
This was a very. I made a big deal about this on Twitter. I got into it with some people because this is unacceptable. To ship a card in an empty OTS wrapper, that should get you disbanded from your TCG Player Store. It should get your TCG Player Store taken down. To take, oh wait, I think I still have the Korean cards laying around somewhere. To take two Korean cards, put them on either side of a 15-year-old Lila. Take those cards, sandwich the Lila, okay? You put those in a penny sleeve.
The taped up booster pack.
Put it into a booster pack, tape it to the inside of the envelope, and ship it out.
That's cringe. Okay. From my perspective.
Okay, here's another one. This one was a card in a top loader. Just a card in a top loader in an envelope. It was not verified. It doesn't matter if it was verified. It matters that they were selling with TCG. They had the confidence to ship it out like this, just like a verified seller would. This was just a card in a top loader in an oversized envelope, which is very floppy. This is bigger than the top loader this way, and it's bigger than the top loader this way. So what happens? What happens? The envelope gets bent. You lose the shipping addresses, which was written all the way at the very end on both sides. The envelope gets ripped. And guess what? All you have is a loose top loader floating around in a sorting machine. So that's not cool. I believe this one was also just a card in a top loader. This one, they put it with a piece of cardboard, wrapped the piece of cardboard in a blank piece of paper, not the receipt, just a blank piece of paper, and shipped it like that, which like seems okay, but it's not. Because while, yes, it does a good job of keeping it within the same general dimensions as the envelope, guess what? It's not sealed on the ends. And when I got it, the cards were half out of the top loader. And guess what? This was bent like this. So while, luckily the cards were up here and not damaged, guess what? They were half out of the top loader. This is why
So I have a follow-up question for you, actually.
What's that?
So you have reasonably demonstrated a problem. What, in your opinion, as someone who has shipped out many cards and also who would like to receive shipped cards, what is the way to do it?
Here, an order that I have packed for TCG Player. Okay, first thing you'll notice, I'm trying not to reveal, dox anyone, the thickness of this envelope. Why is it so thick, you wonder? Okay, first thing I do, I take the card. Let's say it's this Red Dragon Archfiend here, okay? This is not a sleeved card. This is exactly how I would pick it up. I take it, I put it in a regular sleeve, whatever. To say it's this sleeve here, put it in the sleeve, boom. Okay, I then take it, I then put it in a penny sleeve, okay? Put the sleeve and the penny sleeve in a top loader. Keep in mind they're loaded opposite directions so it can't come out. Into the top loader to where the penny sleeve is open to the bottom. And then I tape the top of the top loader. I then take that, I take the receipt. If my printer's not working at the moment, so what I do is I actually take a piece of computer paper and I write out the full receipt on a piece of computer paper. I take it, I tape the top loader to the inside of the paper, fold it up, wrap the ends, tape it all on, and then I put it in the envelope. So here's what happens. I have a properly sized envelope with the paper folded to be within the dimensions of the envelope. That way there's not a bunch of extra space in the envelope where a machine can catch it and rip it. I have then labeled the envelope accordingly, put a stamp on. The paper goes down into the envelope nicely without a bunch of extra room on the edges. The cards are not going to come out of the top loader because they are both double sleeved and taped. You have a receipt in the envelope, and then you have no issues because everything is properly sized. Everything is properly packed. it doesn't seem like it would make a difference. But when you run these cards through these sorting machines, which even if you buy non-machinable stamps, they will do, these envelopes get torn because the things in them are not properly sized. That's why we have different sized envelopes in the first place. Oh, and by the way, also on the inside of this envelope, where the paper is folded on the back of the receipt, I also wrote the address again on there in case this envelope does somehow come ripped open. When it does, their address is still on the paper so they can be repacked by the USPS because it happens all the time.
So,
and it doesn't really take that long.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there are maybe there are some limited instances where just the top loader might be okay. If it's like a small envelope and they're like commons, it's like the value is not very high. It's like a low cost order. The other stuff is expensive. That would, I think, be reasonable. But for anything of like any type of actual value, you got to do a better job. I think especially the thing that's underrated is like the long envelopes is just a bad move, because that's what causes like the rattling. If you have like something smaller, like it going through the sorting machine is not bad if there's not as much like deviation, or I guess for it to move, right? One like little tiny packing trick that somebody did when they sent me cards. There's a Facebook group called D&K TCGs. A lot of kind of independent sellers, not TCG player. Basically, all of the Canadian people have gotten together into a Facebook group and have decided they're not paying US TCG player prices. Fair. So everybody kind of like collectively agrees 85% TCG player for most everything, and like maybe 90% for like really high end collectible stuff.
Yeah, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Black Market on Facebook.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just the Canadian version, essentially. And something that I ordered a bunch of dinosaur collectors rares. And what this person did is they did what you did, where they double sleeve the card with a regular sleeve and a penny sleeve. And this person had bubble wrap, so that was one thing. But something else really cool is that sometimes taking cards out of top loaders really sucks, especially when they're double sleeved. You have to be very careful about like not trying to scratch it. So what this guy did is he took a little like it's like a little like those like thin sliver like Post-it notes. Put one on the back of the sleeve of the card that's sticking outside of the top loader, so that you can pull on that and then pull the card out without having to like grab the card physically. And it was like, I had never even thought to do that. I thought it was genius. So I'm putting that out into the world. For sure. It's like, I know, I was like, I can't believe I've never thought of that. That's brilliant. But yeah, I completely agree with you. Ridiculous to send it in the ways that they did.
Yeah.
And there are people, even like people who don't do it very often, do a better job of it. So
yeah, I mean, here's my thing. I get it, right? You're packing 30, 40, 50 orders a day. Dude, you got to do better than this. This is ridiculous. You know, like give it an extra 10 seconds and make sure the cards get there so you don't have to do refunds. You know, and I left reviews for literally every single order that I got. Because you know what? I got some of my orders in really good packing with receipts and top loaders and everything, and it was great. And I left great 5-star reviews. And guess what? The ones that came in good packaging and good packing, every single time they're the first to get here. Every single time. The ones that come in just a top loader and an oversized envelope, they're the last to arrive. Every time. It never fails. You know? It's like I'll order from a guy that's got like 12 sales, and he's got like the receipt in a top loader and an envelope in a bubble mailer for a $2 card. And it's like, okay, well then I order from like a giant 50,000 plus referral seller, and it's like, yeah, here's just a top loader with a card with no sleeve on it and an envelope this big, you know, like
no sleeve in a top loader is.
I've had it happen. I mean, I had insane. Penny sleeve wrapped up in an OTS wrapper.
That is insane. That is unbelievable.
Anyway, so with that said,
on that note,
if you're selling on TCG, get it together, man. Come on, get your stuff together. Just take the time, do it right, and let's just all be a little bit happier about what's happening here.
Yeah. So there is one other very small piece of news to cover before we get into the topic of today's episode. If you follow Jeff Jones on Twitter, you may have seen something very interesting get posted.
I didn't.
Okay, so you have no idea what this is then. Okay.
I think you sent it to me and I forgot.
No, I did not send this to you. So
You sent it in the
Konami has
Discord server, and if you're not in the Discord server, you should go and join the Discord server right
I
now, so you can get when
did
Skyhawk sends
not
all this stuff. And also, we have a marketplace there.
that's true, but I did not send it in the Discord.
I'm almost positive
So
you did.
Konami sent an email to everybody who has ever won a UDS saying that they are cordially
You definitely
invited
sent
to it.
this.
Did I send this? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. We're checking this now in general.
Well, I can't. I have to go
Nope.
to Discord in my browser to do it.
I did not send this.
Someone did. You sent someone. You or someone else sent this somewhere.
Nope. I didn't send it anywhere. I did talk about the charity event, which is also
Boxwine sent it. A moderator, Boxwine, sent it yesterday at 3 in the morning.
Okay.
No, that was somebody else at 12 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. So they've emailed all of the UDS winners, asking them to show up to an invitational tournament sometime in February. And the goal they're going to. So notably, I think this might be their way of phasing out the UDS belts, except for maybe one person. Because I think Jesse's talked about this, the UDS 2-round buy thing expires in 2025. So my guess is that this is the big final hurrah for the UDS. And maybe whoever wins this one gets to keep their benefits for life. I don't know. But we don't know anything about it aside from that Jeff Jones posted the email. But it looks like they're prepping some kind of big invitational, which... awesome. It means that they're trying to do more esports stuff.
I should stop getting on Twitter during the podcast. I just saw there was another one that was only a score that's happened one time before. We almost had 3 scoregamis today. The final score is 13-8. A low scoregami is like the dark arts these days. Anyway, I'll stop about scoregami.
Okay. Last piece of TCG news before we actually talk stuff.
Sure.
Some happened this weekend, but others are going to be happening throughout this weekend, next weekend. Check to see if your local OTS is hosting a charity event. So the Yu-Gi-Oh! Charity event, if you don't know, it's an event that a lot of OTS stores run over the year. Instead of paying your regular entry fee, your entry fee is 5 pieces of non-perishable food items, and then the OTS store will donate those on your behalf. That's the entry. You play, you get packs per win, I think is how the tournament structure is set up. Depends on how many people show up. And you can get some absolutely cracked prizing.
True.
Konami sends some really interesting stuff to the OTS
By the way,
to give out.
Where do they keep all of this baller stuff that they use for... Dude, they use the craziest stuff for these kinds of things. Oh, and also, they use the same stuff for the bounty duelists for events, like Astral Pack 6. It's like, what?
Yeah. So I was actually going to bring up Astral Pack. So you can get anything ranging from Astral Packs to... I know Ease in our server was talking about, there was an OTS store in Ontario that got first edition Rise of the Duelist. As stuff to give out.
Oh.
So some of the stores have some absolutely cracked stuff. So it's not only is it for is a really good cause, good to donate food, and you can bring as much as you want. So if you want to bring more, go for it. But you can also get some sick stuff for going. So I would highly recommend checking to see if your OTS is hosting one over the next couple of weeks.
So, I think that is a wonderful thing that Konami's doing. I think it's wonderful for a number of reasons. I'm very on board with giving away better products for better causes. Also, I am very, very much more than happy to have the UDS thing happening. Hopefully they do it at YCS Las Vegas. That would be cool as heck. I am very unsure if I'm going to YCS Las Vegas. It is the weekend of my son's birthday.
Maybe not.
This is the second time in less than a month that I have had a Yu-Gi-Oh! Event that I really was going to go to scheduled on the weekend of a birthday. This past weekend, I was going to go to an Edison tournament. I had my deck built already, ready to go. And my wife was like, hey, so are you ready to go out to eat for my birthday this weekend? I was like,
sorry.
And then when they announced Vegas, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Vegas. Woo! I'm hitting up people that I want to be on a team with, or like getting like decks together, and then I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, hey, do we have anything going on this weekend? She's like, yeah,
We do. It's our
it's
son's
his
birthday.
birthday, and I was like,
Oh my god, son.
oh. So yeah,
Well, that also probably answers the question for me. Although, if you are
it's
looking
not
for
set
a
in stone.
teammate, uh, okay. If you're looking for a teammate, the Don Juan is looking for a team. He posted on Twitter earlier today. So, if you need a third person, I can vouch that that man is a beast.
We'll
Uh,
see. I'm not necessarily out of it because the flight is ridiculously cheap, and the hotel, I think, might be doable. We'll see. But we don't know exactly. We don't actually know what weekend we're going to schedule his party on yet. Whether it's the weekend before or the weekend after,
mhm,
or like because
right.
it's like his birthday's not actually on that day, so I don't know. We'll see.
I'll let you continue to justify yourself. Um,
That's it.
I
I probably won't
almost had
go,
a good.
but
I almost had a good. I almost had a good segue
yeah.
from the charity event to the holidays. But Vegas is also a holiday. So speaking of the
Honestly,
holidays,
honestly, my odds of going to Sydney are better if we get like 300 or 400 more patrons. So, let's talk about the reason
yeah,
for this episode and the reason for the season, which is free stuff. No, so let's talk about what's going on this at the end of this month. We're having Christmas, and part of Christmas is gift giving, which is a wonderful thing. It's a very thing that we're all happy that people do. I'm very happy to buy gifts for my loved ones, and I'm very happy to receive gifts. So the issue with that is that I found is that none of my loved ones know what to get me because I don't do anything but play Yu-Gi-Oh. So I have a hard time telling them I want X, Y, and Z thing because they don't know what that is. So this episode from here forward for the next 30-ish minutes will serve as the way for you to just send a link right here. Boom, this spot. Hey, whoa. No comments about how much I play TCG. So this moment forward will be the spot that you send to your loved ones to say, hey, from here on forward, every single thing that they mention, I would love to get either as a stocking stuffer or an actual gift. And we're going to mention things in like all kinds of budgets and price ranges and things. And for different levels of players. Because I acknowledge that while some players want top loaders because they sell cards online and they want to ship, other players want a Spellgrounds playmat and because they are high-end competitive players that want to swag out, and other players just want booster packs to open. So there's kind of different levels to this because you have to gauge where somebody is 1 to 10 on competitiveness as well as 1 to 10 on collectiveness versus 1 to, all of these things, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set kind of some rules and guidelines in place. What we're not going to do for the rest of this section is we're not going to suggest anything from any of our sponsors because we don't want this episode to just be a sponsored bit. Obviously, we would love for you to buy things from our sponsors using the affiliate links down below, but we want you to understand that there's a lot of other products out there that are worth purchasing and are worth having because they are good things and you can get a lot of great use out of them. So with that said, Skyhawk, do you want to take us away with the first product that you want to recommend people? And again, this is stuff that you can get as stocking stuffers, whatever, but you can kind of set the tone.
Yeah, so this was my I think for tone setting I have the perfect one. So this is something that I actually put on my list. I was trying to think of stuff that everybody who plays would like to have, especially if they built up some type of collection or if they're around the game quite a lot and might not think to get themselves, at least initially. This one is actually also quite inexpensive, and you would probably make something very happy that you thought of them in this way. The BCW monster storage boxes, uh, fantastic gift for
Yeah.
anybody, because like I guarantee you, any Yu-Gi-Oh player always needs extra storage. It's like
Yeah.
almost never the case that you don't need more. And I know a lot of players who probably could use them, including me, who don't have any.
Yeah.
When there would be, because right now, like all of my stuff is stored in tins in a box, and it would be so much better if it was just those storage boxes.
I'm in a very unique position. You see, I'm
You're
just gonna
gonna,
take this and kind of spin it around to here. These are the boxes specifically that he's talking about, for anybody wondering. That is the 1,000 count boxes, the 4 and 5,000 count boxes, some of the 2,000 count boxes here, as well as some more 4 and 5,000 count boxes. Down there, we've got more of the 1, 4, and 5s. Yeah, there's a lot of different kinds to get. So understand what level your person is on collection-wise before they, before you buy.
They are not crazy expensive. Like the 3,200 count boxes for standard size are like $7. They're like $6.50 if you buy them directly from BCW.
There's a very specific, very specific box that I really want to recommend. I don't know, like budget. I think they're like $35. I think they call it a library or a hotel. It looks like this. It's that thing up there, right? I wonder if I can do it with my finger, like right there. Yeah, right there. It holds 12,000 count boxes or 1,200 count boxes. They are spectacular.
That is
you can
nice,
buy
actually.
it with the boxes, and it just like lets you organize them all to where they're not stacked and stuff. And it doesn't seem like it would really do anything, but it is so helpful.
That is actually really, really sick.
Yep.
That's...
And you can find all this on the BCW store on Amazon.
It's Card House.
Card House.
Is what
Okay,
they call
see,
it.
yeah.
I'm looking at it now. That's actually really nifty.
It is.
You just pull one out. That's cool. There's also, it looks like there's one that's got shoebox sized ones, and that's that's an option for like a 6 count. That's really cool. I didn't even consider that. That's awesome.
Notably, those are not shoebox size. They're a lot bigger. It's 2 of the 1,000 count boxes. So the 1,000 count boxes are like 18 inches long, give or take.
Yeah,
it's like 2 of those. So
solid.
I guess I will go next. I would say, so I actually have something that while it can also be an organization thing, but I'm gonna recommend some deck boxes. It's not now. I know what you're thinking, and I'm thinking actually something a little more on the cheaper side. So specifically, like the little plastic, like $2 or $1 Ultra Pro deck boxes. You can get like a 5-pack of them on Amazon for like $6 or $7. They are wonderful to have a bunch of. And in fact, actually, wait, look, hold on, look, I've got them right here. So they've got a little spot at the top where you can write the name of the deck on it, which I don't ever do because you swap decks so often. But if you get sneaky with it, hold on. I promise there's a reason that I'm doing this. Okay, so this is a Dragon Shield. I think it's an archive, which they don't make anymore. But inside, it's got 2 rows, which are the same size as a 1,000 count deck box. But as you can see here, I bumped my mouse. As you can see here, you can fit these 1,000 count or these deck boxes in here. You can fit a bunch of them in here, including the Dragon Shield deck boxes if you want to get a little fancier. But these deck boxes, they're great. You can put about half a dozen of them in here. And these also work in those 1,000 count boxes, or really, they don't really work in the 1,000 count boxes. They work specifically in like the 5,000 count boxes, the big ones where the lid goes over the top. But you can put them down in there and use them either as dividers in those, or if you want to put a bunch of deck cores in those boxes, you can use it to like break up all your different deck cores and keep them all in separate boxes. So really handy. Oh, and I know you said you kind of want one of these. They don't make these anymore, so you have to get on eBay.
I was gonna say deck cores. It was the thing that I would definitely use that for, because that seems like bulk, like wanting to keep that separate from the other bulk is definitely like the boxes are just the way to go.
The other thing that I use those big 4,000 count boxes for, I might be telling myself a bit here. I use it for sleeves. not just sealed packs of sleeves, but like I'll get like these.
Spares. Yeah.
If I use these, when I take them out of their plastic wrapper, a lot of times I'll throw the wrapper away, and so I can use like one of these little Ultra Pro boxes. I have a lot of them, and you can just put the sleeves down in the box and put the box in the thing like that. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
In the same vein, you can also get these from BCW, but there's a couple of different cool ones available. My next recommendation is a sorting tray. As another one of the things like you might need that you just wouldn't think of, but especially like I just did like a full reworking of my space. You can see back there is still a little bit messy. I have a little bit more work to do, but I got myself a standing desk. Speaking of, Sonny's got this sorting tray. That's beautiful. That's gigantic and gorgeous.
I would recommend the other one that's got a big flat square space on one of them.
Yeah. My desk just got littered with cards. Like it's just so hard to, like a tray would fix those problems instantly. And speaking of,
turn my fan on while I was up.
if you're on if you're on a higher budget, as a mini recommendation, if you want desk space, I highly recommend
Okay.
a standing desk, specifically one with an L shape, because you can use the L shape for Yu-Gi-Oh stuff in remote duels.
What? So what?
It's really good to have.
What is the function of a standing desk?
Oh, well, why don't I tell you that? So
Okay.
right now, actually, I have a program to my sitting desk, but at the push of a button.
It's a way to make yourself shorter. Not recommended for
Yes.
people like James Nash. So what's
And
funny is I
specifically-
can see you standing now in your mirror in the background.
Yeah, I'm getting back up. But mainly the point of this, like ergonomics, it's just good to be standing, and it helps with posture and everything. It's also nice for keep mixing things up during the day.
Also, if you already have your own desk, there's hardware that you can buy. Like I custom made my desk. There's hardware that you can buy to turn your desk into a standing desk.
Yep. And on that note,
Wait. Maybe James Nash does need one of these. He can make himself taller.
true. A chili dog a day keeps Dr. Eggman away.
I don't. I'm sorry, Darth Nash. Just catching strays for no reason. All right.
Sort of
Well,
trying to go for it.
the next thing that I'm gonna recommend is actually another really cheap, dumb thing that can also be used as a stocking stuffer. Which I had some here that, of course, they fell. And I knocked stuff over because my microphone knocked stuff over earlier. Another BCW product, top loaders.
Hey, BCW, you want to hit us up?
Yeah, so BCW sponsorship incoming. No, this is not only available by BCW, this just happens to be what I purchased. You can also get, of course, Ultra Pro sells these, as well as a couple of other manufacturers that just happen to be what my locals carried because, well, you can get them a lot cheaper on Amazon. I think you can get like 100 for $15. And they're like 4 times the price at my locals. I buy them from my locals anyway because they're convenient, and I support my local card shop over Amazon. But I would definitely recommend some top loaders, especially if you know that this is a person that ships product. So, for example, I sell a lot online, so for me specifically, these work out very well. And I'm going to throw another one in very quickly because this follows the stocking stuffer trend. I'm also going to recommend some dice. So you can absolutely always send some dice in. I would really recommend just like you can get like a bulk thing of 6-sided die or 20-sided die, very, 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 very cheap on Amazon. Because we always lose them, so that's just a thing that's always nice to have a bunch of is dice.
So yeah, my next recommendation is going to be a little bit vague, and that's because there's a whole bunch of different like a range of stuff that this could apply to. But check out like artists online and check out like any like Redbubble storefronts or any other. There's another site that I'm not thinking of.
Yeti?
Etsy. That's the one.
Etsy. Isn't there one Yeti
there's
too?
there might be, but who know what mint? Huh?
I like how we're
So
both just in PJs.
it's bedtime. We're past our bedtimes.
We're way past that time.
So all sorts of like really cool fan artists, especially often places like Redbubble will have discounts. A lot of these artists will also have their own stores, sometimes set up through coffee or anything else. So definitely check out a bunch. Some stuff that I really like. Think New if you're in the US and hopefully eventually Canada. They haven't restocked for Canada yet, which is a shame because I really want the Dual Pro Shops hat. But Dual Pro Shops, tons of
That's
artists have
awesome.
stickers.
That's sick.
It's
Wait,
so
is
good. There's
they
a
one
Verizon-
for they have dual pro shops for on a hat, like a trucker
I will
hat?
I will send you the link.
Please do,
They
because
have
I'm gonna buy one.
They have red eyes and blue eyes. Fantastic stuff. Also, I think New, I believe, is also behind this pin. It's a little tiny winged dragon of Ra.
I was looking
excellent mega
around to
chicken.
see what else I had lying around. I totally forgot that I had this little just like sitting here and I've never used it.
Which one? Little dice pouch. I did not see. Oh, that is pretty sick, actually. That's cool.
I forgot.
You got the holographic One Piece playmat.
I totally forgot about it.
This is another cool little pin. So this is from elaso.ca. They were at Animathon, and I picked this up. They make a lot of frogs, and so this one is a little frog with a dual disc.
Amanda
this one
LaPalme
is
always
fun.
has nice stuff. You saying frog
Yeah.
reminded me of her frog dice.
Yep. Oh, there are some. The Manamoon bleach dice are always very tempting. I love the bleach dice. The scapegoat dice are really cool too. So yeah, support. Like if you have somebody who's like they kind of have everything they need, but they would love something stylish. Check out a bunch of local artists. There's tons of websites. So that's one. That's at like maybe the next level of price range.
Let's see. All right, so my next one is going to be a really weird recommendation, which I can actually go get. I have one of them, but I have to go to my kitchen to do it. But, so if this person of yours is a very competitive, wait, I have one. I have two in the closet because I got them as a gift for friends. Hold on.
This time on the Top Cut podcast, Sunny enters the closet. Da, 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 da.
So, I actually took my own advice and I bought these for friends. So what this is a it's very taped up, so I'm not going to open it. This is a cooler. It's a backpack cooler, which just look up backpack cooler on Amazon and you'll find them. But it is a, it's like an ice chest, but it's just a backpack, right? You can fill it with ice and you can put cold drinks in it, water, sodas, energy drinks, whatever you want to put. And they also have separate pouches where you can put things like sandwiches, little candies, or things like that you don't want to melt in a hot car maybe. And the reason that you might want to have one of these if you're a very competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player, specifically for me, this has been a great tool to have because I have one and I take it to my tournaments with me when I go, especially on the long ones where I'm sometimes driving 4.5 hours in the morning. So getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and leaving to go to an event. And then driving all the way there, staying there all day, and getting home at sometimes midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. That's not like an uncommon thing. So for me specifically, the ability to get there and get back in one day is big, and having the cooler makes a huge difference for that. Now, I have a cooler backpack specifically because it's a lot lighter and it's a lot more mobile. But what I do is I put all my ice drinks and snacks and lunch and everything in it. And I bring that, and it gets me through my whole day. I have to make less stops at gas stations, and I have to make less stops for food. And while I am out and about, while I'm at the event, at the venue, while I'm at the event, or while I'm on road, I don't have to stop, and I don't have to spend as much money. And this is huge. You know, when you're traveling this much for these events, anything that you can do to make them more affordable, such as bringing your own lunch and bringing your own drinks and snacks, is huge. And also, not only does it give you a reason to be more conservative with your budget when you're going to these events, it also gives you a way to eat healthier. I can bring a little baggie of fruit, which is a great little energy boost on top of being a healthy snack that's going to, give me my energy. That the natural sugars of fruit specifically are a wonderful boost. I can specifically bring peanuts or a protein bar, which is going to be a lot more filling throughout the day. That way, the tournament starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, stop at noon. I can eat a sandwich that I brought, or I can pack a salad and I can eat up my own salad that I made, things like that. It gives you a lot more options of healthier food, because a lot of times at these convention centers, they're serving what? Chili dogs, meat pies, burgers, things like that.
Chili dogs.
Yeah. So I really cannot recommend the cooler enough if the person that you're buying for is really regularly going to a lot of events, not just locals, but like lots of regionals and YCSs, especially if they're driving. So it seems like an off-the-wall one, but makes a difference.
Good. So I'm pulling back on the budget some for the next one. And again, it's stuff that like people would maybe not think to buy themselves, or maybe they wouldn't get themselves like a really cool one.
The coolers are about $20, by the way, for anybody wondering.
Yeah. So, Life Point notepads. So
that's a good one.
Getting like specific ones. So anybody can get like a notebook, and those are super great to use. But having the notepads are really cool.
Yes.
For no momentum, especially some of the more official ones that they've made.
Oh no, I have one right here.
So there are a few different design ones. There are also some like Egyptian god ones you can get. You can get them usually like remote duel events will have them as prizing, or sometimes at walls, but like I imagine they're not that expensive on eBay. So this is an example of a remote duel one.
Yeah.
It's got player 1, player 2 on it. It's very official looking, very cool. So cool like little gift you can find. There's also probably tons of like.
Also, if I could recommend,
cool.
One Up TCG. And they're based out of Mississippi, and they have another shop in Alabama and Tuscaloosa, I think. They have. They're one of the bigger shops in the South, but they also have an online store. On their online store, I think it's $1 a piece or $2 a piece for their notepads, which are really thick, and I get them every time I go to their shops for regionals, and they always serve me well. So
nice.
Yeah.
So my final one on my list, I have two higher end ones. One of them is quick and one of them is less quick.
Sure.
So the first like higher end of the range, booster box of the Rarity Collection. If you can find them at a somewhat reasonable price, there is no Yu-Gi-Oh player on planet Earth who will be disappointed with that.
That is absolutely correct.
Even like like one of the Walmart mini boxes,
yes.
If the larger boxes are not available to you, like they're literally perfect.
It's the
Don't
best.
Get the mystery power boxes.
Yes.
They're horrible. Rarity Collection.
Not even the Mega Tens. It's the Rarity Collection is the single best Christmas gift that Konami has ever given us. Specifically, if you want to do a booster box as a big gift, or if you want to do little gifts like stocking stuffers, you can buy blisters at Walmart and put them in a stocking. I think they're $5.99 a piece. They're wonderful. You just do several of those. It's great.
Yes. That's absolutely true. Now, notably, I am seeing the tins get like heavily discounted. If you can find the tins at like 75% off, not a bad idea. It's like a stocking thing. Like,
that's very true.
So I am seeing there are places that are really, really heavily discounting now.
Also, if you want to get the latest core set for someone as a stocking stuffer, what is it? It starts with an O.
Age of Overlord.
Age of Overlord is the most recent core set. So if you're at Walmart, the only two blisters that I would buy at Walmart, the only two packs I would buy are Yu-Gi-Oh! Rarity Collection and Age of Overlord, and that's it. So please don't. I mean, Duelist Nexus maybe, but like really, Age of Overlord and Duelist Nexus are the two sets that if you see the packs on the shelf, you're like, yeah, I want those. Don't get like, because like if you go like Dollar General, you'll still see like Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm and things like that. Yeah. Like don't do that. It's Duelist Nexus and Age of Overlord.
Yeah, like maybe Amazing Defenders if anywhere still has blisters of that.
Yeah, maybe Amazing Defenders.
But my final recommendation is it is unnecessary to spend this amount of money, but if you have somebody who like really is in need of one and wants one that's like kind of specifically branded, has a couple of specific features, you can buy Amazon camera bags for like between $40 and $60 that have most of these features, but this one is like designed and built specifically for it. So if you can find it on sale, this is Ultra Pro's TCG backpack. I believe it's, or not Ultra Pro, Ultimate Guard. I don't even remember what the name of this backpack is.
I think it's the Defender.
The Defender, I think it might be it.
The Vault.
The Vault. It's they have two of them out there. This is the more expensive one. But this thing is fantastic. It's like their quote unquote anti-theft backpack. That naming is kind of misleading because somebody can obviously just steal the backpack. But it is something that I found myself having to do at events all the time. Just as like a precaution thing is like having the backpack like in front of me and wearing it like this. And I don't know about you, but I find it very, very annoying to do this. What this backpack does is the way that the zipper is set up. I don't know if it will show up well on camera, but the zipper is set up so that there are no zippers if you're wearing it on your back that face outwards.
Yeah.
So if it's on your back, it is impossible for somebody to unzip a pocket without you noticing. It would be like unfathomable to do. So not only is it like a little bit more secure in that way, so you can feel safer just like having your backpack on your back. It's got a couple of really nice features to it. It's got there's some like rubber holding spots, not rubber holding spots. There's some like straps, so you can have like a playmat tube hook into the straps and tighten that in. There are little pockets that are sized specifically for Ultimate Guard deck boxes, but you can put basically any deck boxes in them. And again, camera bags also do have this if you want to spend less money, because they have like lens pockets. This one also has probably my favorite thing about this one is that on the inside of it, there is a pocket along with a USB for a backup like battery.
Right.
And then there's a USB on the outside of the bag. So you can have a backup battery in here and have a charger going to your phone. That's super incredibly useful for if you have a long event and you don't want to go back into your bag, or you want to be like charging your phone maybe in the middle of a game. Like, you're okay, this is a good time to charge my phone. I'll have that cord, I'll put it in my pocket. And then that way it's not just like sitting there doing nothing. So I have absolutely loved it. I do not regret purchasing this at all. But again, you can get very similar functionality for less money if a TCG person in your life wants a nice backpack.
So, on that same note, I have the Gem Accessories Jaguar backpack. It's a nice backpack. It does a great job, but you said you were.
When
I did the review for this backpack, I did not know this, and I was made aware of this. This is a camera backpack that has been repurposed. This is actually a previously designed backpack for a camera supply company. You can go on Amazon and find almost this exact same backpack with different colors and things like that, or on their website. I think it's K&F Creations or something like that, for like 2/3 of the price, right? So significantly cheaper, and if it's literally a camera bag. So, like Skyhook was saying, while that specific backpack is wonderful and this gem bag is wonderful, I would say specifically that a camera bag. I used a camera bag for like a year. Like, I took a break from using this backpack and used a straight DSLR camera backpack. They work great, and usually you can get them for like $50. So, also in the vein of a high-end product. So you listed your high-end product. I've been giving penny stuff. This is totally unnecessary, but I would like to personally recommend a Spellgrounds playmat. They are wonderful products. They will give you a play feel unlike anything else. You can find other cloth playmats that also do a wonderful job for significantly less money. But there's nothing quite like a Spellgrounds. What I will recommend is you should look up some YouTube videos or things like that, because sometimes a brand new Spellgrounds, while it might be priced $200, will actually be either cheaper or less desirable than a used Spellgrounds, because some of the older used Spellgrounds, like a V1, V2, V3, things like that, they are way more expensive because the feel of the playmat is different. Every version of Spellgrounds, I think mine's a V7, every version of Spellgrounds, they change the feel of them a little bit, and sometimes it works out well and sometimes it works out poorly. So sometimes if you go on eBay and you look up Spellgrounds playmats that are like lightly used and stuff, you can get really good deals on them, but like brand new, they're like $200. So, you know, we could recommend Grimoire at $60 for a playmat that I would argue is maybe just as good, but you know, in the interest of giving you a full range of options, the Spellground, I personally pretty much exclusively use Spellgrounds.
Pyramid also just recently did a Spellgrounds collaboration, and that would also be a pretty decent mid-range point.
Yeah.
They might be sold out though. So
yeah, I do keep mentioning our sponsors, but I'm mostly doing that because it's the things that I think about because we talk about it all the time. It's the products that I mostly use.
Hopefully that was good advice. Unless you have another recommendation.
Do you have any more like rapid fire things that you want to mention? Packs of sleeves.
Please, fantastic. One tip, if you're somebody who's maybe not super into Yu-Gi-Oh, who has stumbled upon this, make sure that they are Japanese size sleeves.
Yes.
That
Great
would be,
point.
For Yu-Gi-Oh specifically, Japanese size. Anybody will be happy with anything. Personally, I really like Dragon Shield, but my favorite sleeve of all time is the Ultra Pro Katana. If you can find any of those for a reasonable price, go for them. On the higher end of sleeves, there's cool custom stuff you can get on any of the sites that I mentioned before. So if you want to just like give somebody super bling, then get them like the Labyrinth over sleeves from anywhere.
Yeah. Also, I will recommend if you look up like Yu-Gi-Oh apparel, like you were saying, they also have special shops like the Konami Yu-Gi-Oh shop. They do sometimes have some cool stuff on there.
Yes. I will say I made maybe the dumbest purchase I have ever made a couple days ago.
Yeah?
I bought on merchoid.com. You can get, I think, cheaper prints of this elsewhere, depending on where you live in the world. My job's work Christmas party is bad Christmas sweaters. And there is a very, very good Yu-Gi-Oh! Official one, holiday sweater. That is, it's a picture of Yugi and it says it's time to Yule.
Yeah.
And then on the back it's deck the halls.
I love that.
So and my coworkers are already aware. They bought me this hat. It's the Hypeland Slifer one. So I think it will be a very funny bit. But it was.
Well, I think we did a wonderful job. Oh, actually, there's another quick thing. If you go to tcgplayer.com using our affiliate link, of course, you can actually find gift cards. And you can just order a TCG Player gift card.
That would, yeah.
Legitimately. Yeah. tcgplayer.com. You can just order a gift card, and that works for most of the things we've mentioned work for every card game.
Yeah.
Like dice, deck boxes, sleeves, you know, like...
You could even get a box of the Rarity Collection with TCG Player credit.
Right, you can get any packs of cards or whatever off of TCG Player. And if you're like, they want specific cards, they want, you know, the newest, latest SP Little Knight, just get them a gift card. They can just put it towards whatever they want.
Yeah.
And
then
literally everything we've mentioned, they can also get on the website.
True.
All right, well, that's going to do it. If you have any questions, really, like if you're somebody who doesn't play trading card games and you want specific advice, we're going to be very active in the comments on this one. Please, seriously, leave us a comment on YouTube specifically, or you can join our Discord server to ask questions. I know that trading card games are something that can be very imposing if you don't know the ins and outs of them. Like if you don't play trading card games, you don't know Yu-Gi-Oh! Uses Japanese size sleeves and Pokemon and Magic the Gathering use standard size sleeves. You just don't know that, right? So I think it's absolutely worth trying to learn about it through something like this. And if you have questions and you want clarification on anything, please ask questions. We would love to help you out and answer those. With that said, let's go ahead and thank all of our wonderful patrons for their continued support of the podcast. So A huge thank you to Always Second, Time Rizzard.
I'm Rizzard. It's unreal.
That's
So good.
great.
So
Zyphorus. It's either A the one Pylog or at the one Pylog or it might be at the maybe it's at the one epilogue or at Theon epilogue at Atheon epilogue.
I gotta see this now.
I think it's supposed to be at the One Piece epilogue, but it was just like supposed to be tormenting me or something. But I'm gonna go Atheon epilogue. Atheon epilogue.
At the one epilogue. I couldn't tell you.
There's only one either. I don't know. DM me and tell me how I'm supposed to say this. Big Stinky Ding Dongs, hostess of the Yang Zing. Give me some more Dragussi, Konami. HGH Shiver, John Leal, Mike T is one thick bih. Let me see that Trishussi, which is towing the line of what I'm willing to say. Mountain Man, Oatmeal Spaghetti. Yeah. If it wasn't a SEMO bit, I probably wouldn't do it. Mountain Man, Oatmeal Spaghetti, Owen Alvarado, Pistol Place Pendulums, Silver Hope, Understanding and Reading are two different things. Virtually Savior's World, Visa Star Frosting D's Nuts, Wind Up Carrier, Zinfidel Mayedi, Aaron Gardner, Alexander Chan, Asami, Ashless Chaps, Etsuyo, Simp of the Silver Castle, Blackwing, Silverwind the Ascendant is the best Floodgate, Blue Eyes is best, Copium, Box Wine, Come On and Get Your Game On, Dragon Maidenless Behavior, Ice Jade will win a YCS before Swoop Swoop, false. I'm about to Rika Glimmer Tribute for Cross These Plant Nuts in Your Mouth, Level 4 Fire Warrior, Gaming, Little Stinky, Lama Yama, Kamsarama, Maxi Pack, Old Man Red, Pin Code 143, Wanted Secret of Your Mom's Sinful Spoils, and do a barrel roll! And if your name is missing from this, and it mentions Trish, you should change your name, because it's just a little bit farther than what I'm willing to go. So, thank you all so much for your continued support of the podcast. And of course, until next time, have a great week, everybody.
So before I let you go to sleep, what Yu-Gi-Oh card do you think would be found in the soundtrack of Shrek 2?
Would be found what?
Would be found in the soundtrack of Shrek 2.
I don't know what.
She'll push and pull you down, living la vida loca. Kalanta. It's Vita Kalanta.
I'm not sure that's it. I can't handle this.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.